There's one thing that many people try to do, and it always ends up falling apart, and that's to try and keep themselves organized and keep themselves with a routine to get things done. This one hits home because I did spend quite a bit of time where I found myself jumping from one thing to the other, and I was just starting to get burned out and confused, and I was like, oh my god, what's going on? Until I did one thing and it's just resolved all my problems. And I'm going to share that with you today, so hopefully you can get some inspiration and some wisdom from my experience and hopefully run with it. Now, this might not work for everyone. For some people, you might enjoy the extravagant excitement that you get from jumbling things up and down and trying to hold many things up in the balance, and you just live with the adrenaline. Maybe you like that. Maybe you're good at that. If you are, keep going, you know. That's that's cool with me. But, you know, for me, that's not how it worked. And for me, I need some structure. It's nice to be a bit spontaneous. I think a bit of how the hell do you say that word? Spontaneity? What the? RIP English. RIP English. Anyway, that word, you know what I'm trying to say. When you're spontaneous, it's nice because it brings a fresh perspective. Sometimes things happen out of nowhere. Sometimes things are just meant to be. Sometimes things just happen for a reason. You're like, oh my god, I didn't see that coming. That's cool. Welcome it. But ultimately, the way your life is set up, you need a bit of structure in terms of your routine every day to keep yourself in balance and to keep yourself at a very nice mental state. I think this is the one priority here, to keep yourself sane and to keep yourself at a point where you are happy enough with what you're doing and you have enough balance in your life. It's very good to work hard, but you don't want to work yourself too hard. You don't want to burn yourself out to the point where you begin to hate your life. You begin to hate yourself. You begin to hate the routine and you're just like, I can't take this anymore. You don't want that. You need to give yourself a break. You need to give yourself that breathing space. You need to give yourself that time for you to be able to do what you want to do as well. And with that balance, you're getting things done and you're living happily. So, one tip that I want to give you that helped me, a timetable. I'm not even lying, guys. I motivate myself to wake up in the morning. At the moment, live obviously with what the virus has done to the world. Some of us are working from home, and that's not easy because you do lose that motivation to get up in the morning. When you're working normally, you have to get up. If not, you get fired. That's just the way it is. But when you're working at home, it's very easy to say, oh, you know what, I'll sleep an extra hour. And that can be damaging because that hour turns into 2, and then that turns into 3, and then you lose your way, and then next thing you know, you're trying to catch up, and it's a ball ache. So for me, for example, I like to dedicate time to my job. So I get up at 8 o'clock, have breakfast, make sure that 9 o'clock I'm sat here and ready to work. Go into about 2 straight, non-stop, maybe a break in between. Obviously, it's nice to have a little break. But anyway, just work, 2 o'clock, have lunch, half an hour, an hour. Obviously, you're at home. You don't need a full hour. You know, it doesn't take an hour to eat. Okay, get that done, come back, work until about 4:30, 5, and ultimately you would have done yourself, what, 7-8 hours of work. That's an achievement, right? And if you're serious enough, you've got to be serious. After that, dedicate some time to relax, do what you got to do. In my case, YouTube. This is where I film content, this is where I spend time editing, this is where I'm doing things in terms of just my YouTube channels. After that, for me, there's days where I decide to go onto Twitch. So Twitch, from about 7 o'clock or so, is where I spend some time on there for an hour and a half or 2. On days that I'm not on Twitch, I'm training, so I'll spend that time in the evening working out, have a shower after that, eat, and then relax. Switch yourself off, do what you got to do. Go and watch Netflix, go listen to music, go and talk with someone, I don't know, do what you want at that point. And then sleep. Sleep is key. You want to make sure that you're sleeping early enough so you're up in the morning, because if you end up sleeping at 3 o'clock in the morning and you're trying to get up at what, 8 o'clock after 5 hours sleep, let me tell you, you're not going to get up. That's just the truth. Again, unless you are forced to get up, because if you don't show up to work, you get fired. But if you're working from home, go to sleep early. Comes to 11, 12 o'clock, go to bed. That way by 1, you've fallen asleep, and then you get yourself 7-8 hours sleep, and that's enough. So, a timetable, a schedule, that's how you stay organized. And you have to stay consistent with it. Make sure you're following it. If you don't, you're going to fall apart. Always try and convince yourself, tell yourself, I have to stick to it. I need to do it. I need to keep this balance. If not, things are going to fall apart, and I don't want that for myself. So I'm going to stick to the schedule, and I'm going to make sure that all angles are covered, and I'm going to be happy. So there we are. Hope you've enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Subscribe if you are new. I'll see you later. Take care.